The air was sharp, biting at my skin. My name is Dahlin, I was 17, and today was my trial. 3 days alone in the frozen taiga, to prove I was ready to become a man. My family stood by our tent, pride and worry etched on their faces. My mother wrapped another fur around me, her hands trembling. My grandfather Erel stepped forward, his eyes ancient and wise. He placed a heavy hand on my shoulder. The forest tests you, Dahlin. Respect its spirits and they will respect you. He spoke of Isek, the Ussuri Bear, the master of the taiga. Show respect, not fear. I nodded, feeling the weight of his words. My pack was light, a knife, flint, dried meat, a small pot. My father taught me to build shelter, read the snow, and listen to the silence. My grandfather's wisdom was my compass. The true test was not the cold or wolves, but within myself. With a final look at my family, I walked away from the village. The sounds of home faded, replaced by the crunch of my boots on snow. Each step took me deeper into a world of white and gray. The silence was immense, a living thing. I felt small, a speck in the vast wilderness. Fear knotted my stomach, but excitement burned brighter. I was walking the path of my ancestors. I was ready to face whatever the taiga had in store. The cold pressed in, but I pressed on. The forest loomed, ancient and uncaring. I was alone, but not lost. This was my right, my first step into the wild. I breathed in the icy air, feeling the weight of tradition. The journey had begun. The sun dipped low, painting the sky orange and purple. I needed to make camp before darkness fell. I found a spot near a frozen river, sheltered by larch trees. Remembering my father's lessons, I cut dead branches and gathered wood. Every movement was careful. Wasted energy could mean danger. I built a simple lean-to, packing snow for insulation. It wasn't home, but it would shield me from the wind. Fire was next, my lifeline. I struck flint, coaxed a spark, and soon flames pushed back the cold. I melted snow for water, chewed tough reindeer meat. The meal felt like a feast. Darkness fell, but the fire's glow created a small circle of safety. The river groaned and shifted, a reminder that the wild was alive. I was just a guest here. Later, wrapped in furs, I watched the sky through the branches. Stars scattered across black velvet, closer than I'd ever seen. There was peace in the solitude. Fear faded, replaced by wonder. I was alone, but not lonely. The spirit of the taiga was my silent companion. The night was cold, but I felt alive. The fire's embers glowed, and I drifted into sleep. The wild watched over me. I belonged, if only for a night. The diamond sky was my witness. Dawn brought pale light and biting cold. My fire was dead. I moved quickly to warm up. I ate, drank, and set out to explore, following the frozen river. The taiga was beautiful, but every step was a struggle. Ancient trees loomed, silent and watchful. I saw tracks, hare, fox, signs of life, stories of survival. We were all fighting the same battle against the cold. Then I saw it. A massive track, larger than any I'd seen. Shaped like a human foot, but huge, with deep claw marks. My heart pounded. This was Isek, the Ussuri Bear. It should have been sleeping for winter. Why was it awake? A chill ran down my spine, not from the cold but from the sense of being watched. The peaceful forest now felt scary. Every shadow hid a threat, every gust a growl. The silence was heavy with suspense. I was no longer just an observer. The master of the taiga was near. I scanned the trees, alert and tense. The wild was testing me. I was part of a dangerous story now. My grandfather's words echoed, respect, not fear. I pressed on, heart racing. The taiga whispered its secrets. I listened, knowing I was not alone. The bear knew I was here. Fear urged me to run, but my grandfather's voice echoed, respect, Dahlin, not fear. I took a deep breath, steadying myself. I reached for my family's charm, a bear tooth passed down for generations. It was a symbol of courage and respect. Holding it, I felt connected to my ancestors. Their strength flowed into me. I decided to make an offering, a sign of peace. I placed a piece of dried meat on a flat rock, a humble gift. It was all I had, but it meant everything. I stood back, holding the charm in my open palm. I spoke softly, using the ancient words my grandfather taught me. I told the spirit of the bear my name and purpose. I asked for its blessing and permission to pass. I was a guest, not a conqueror. The wind carried my words into the trees. I waited, heart pounding, hoping the forest would accept me. The offering was my message. I am here to learn, not to take. I showed the taiga my heart. The silence felt different, expecting something, watchful. I stood my ground, trusting in tradition. The charm warmed in my hand. I felt the presence of those who came before me. I was not alone. The forest was listening. I waited for its answer. The sun was low, light faded fast. I returned to camp, my mind replaying the bear's tracks. I rebuilt my fire, needing its comfort. The forest was silent, holding its breath. I sensed the bear was close. Suddenly, a twig snapped beyond the firelight. I froze, gripping my knife, eyes straining in the dark. Nothing moved. Was it fear or something real? Panic threatened, but I forced myself to stay calm. Respect, not fear. I repeated it like a chant. I added a log to the fire, steadying my hands. Then a shape emerged from the shadows. Huge, dark, powerful. The Ussuri Bear. It stood at the edge of the fire's glow, eyes reflecting the flames. It sniffed the air, curious, not angry. Time seemed to stop. The world narrowed to me, the fire and the bear. It stepped forward, slow and careful. I remained still, not raising my knife. I met its gaze, pouring respect into my eyes. I was a visitor in its kingdom. The tension was unbearable. A single wrong move could end everything. The bear watched, checking me out. I held my ground, heart pounding. The fire crackled between us. I waited, breathless. The wild was watching. The great bear stopped just beyond the fire. Its face was scarred, ancient, wise. This was not just an animal, it was the spirit of the taiga. It let out a low rumble, not anger but understanding. I remembered, the forest wants to know you. I slowly raised my hand, showing the bear-tooth charm. The bear's eyes flickered to it, head tilting in thought. We stood in silent conversation, boy and bear separated by fire. My fear faded, replaced by wonder and connection. I was part of its world, not the other way around. The bear stepped back, rumbled softly, and melted into the shadows. The silence returned, but now it was peaceful. The master of the taiga had seen me and let me be. I had faced the spirit of the wild and survived. The forest felt different, accepting, almost protective. I sat by the dying fire, heart pounding with thanks. The encounter changed me. I understood respect was my shield. The wild had judged me and found me worthy. I was no longer just a boy, I was part of the taiga's story. The spirit of the forest had seen my heart. The encounter left me breathless but calm. The bear was gone, but its presence lingered. I knew it was not just luck that kept me safe. It was respect. I thought of the offering I'd left on the rock. In the language of the forest, actions spoke louder than words. My gift was a sign of peace, a way to show I understood the rules. The bear's curiosity felt like a response to my gesture. That night I couldn't sleep, not from fear, but wonder. I replayed the encounter, the intelligence in the bear's eyes. I felt I'd been given a rare gift, a glimpse into the heart of the wilderness. The taiga was a world of power and balance. Every creature had its place, every spirit its role. I was beginning to understand my own place. As the fire died, I felt a change within. The boy who left the village was gone. I had faced the ultimate test and found new strength. It was not muscle but spirit. I had faced my greatest fear and gained understanding. The wild had accepted me. I was ready for whatever came next. On the third morning, fresh snow blanketed the forest. It felt like a new beginning. I packed my camp with calm and purpose. The forest felt like home. My trial was nearly over, but I lingered, enjoying the peace. I visited the rock where I'd left my offering. The meat was gone. In its place, a giant paw print in the snow. It was a sign. The bear had accepted my gift. A smile touched my lips. The connection was real. I continued my journey, steps lighter than before. Sunlight made the snow sparkle. I saw not just wilderness, but beauty and harmony. Courage, I realized, was acting with respect despite fear. That was the strength my grandfather spoke of. Nearing the forest edge, I paused and looked back. I felt the bear's presence, a silent guardian. I touched the charm at my neck, it was now part of my story. I turned toward my village, changed. I was no longer just a boy. I had earned the respect of the wild. I was ready to return home. The first sign of my village was smoke rising from the tents. My family ran to meet me, relief and joy on their faces. My mother hugged me, my father smiled with pride. They saw the change in me, the boy who left had not returned. That evening, I told them my story, the cold, the silence, the bear. My grandfather listened, understanding in his eyes. When I finished, he placed his hand on my shoulder. You did not fight the forest, you listened, you honored it. Respect is a greater shield than any weapon. You have the heart of a true Yakutian man. His words meant more than surviving the cold or facing the bear. My trial was over, but my journey had just begun. I had returned with a deeper respect for my heritage and the spirits of the wild. The memory of the Ussuri Bear would stay with me always. It was now a guardian of my spirit. I was Dalan, a man of the Yakut people. I had found my place,